honestly, that for 2 years, it demotivated me. So they literally like don't care about you, but no hate towards them. A-levels is the hardest thing I've ever done throughout my entire education. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kaylee and thanks for being here. Ever since I posted my AS reaction results video back in the beginning of the year, I've been getting questions from you guys about literally every single aspect of A-levels, the college I went to, and all the experience. Since I just graduated from my A-levels program in Sunway College and have also just gotten my results a few weeks ago or like a month ago, I figure it's about time for me to really sit down and talk to you guys about my entire A-levels journey at Sunway College, my experience, and maybe give some tips and advice at the end of the video, so make sure to stay tuned. And don't mind if I look at my phone every time I talk to you guys, because this is where I keep all the information and things I want to go through. There's like a ton of things I'm going through, so yeah, this is gonna be quite a long video. I'm quite excited, so let's get on to the video. So first of all, what are the A-levels? For people who are unsure of how it works or the structure of it, I'll just explain on a surface level so you get like an idea of it. So A-levels is short for the GCE advanced level, and it's equivalent to the IB or the STPM Malaysian students would take after their IGCSEs. It is like a 1.5 to 2 year program depending on your school and college though. So you essentially pick out like 3 or more subjects of your choice and stick to it throughout your entire 2 years. So it's pretty important of the choice of subjects. And since it's a 100% exam-based course, your final grade will be depending on your 2 exams. So one is AS, you take it at the end of your first year, and the other one is A2, you take it at the end of your second year. Both of it combined with a 50-50% contribution to your final grade. So since some people are asking about my college A-level structure, because my college is Sunway College and they do have like a different structure to other schools I know. So for example, I start my A-levels program in September 2020, and my AS, I'll be taking it in October 2021, and my A2 will be the following June 2022. But some schools I know, like my old school friends, they take their AS in June 2021 and A2 in June 2022. So basically they have a shorter AS period but a longer, like an entire year of A2. In Sunway is the other way around, so we have like a longer AS and a shorter A2. And I think it's kind of like ridiculous because your teachers in Sunway will be teaching your A2 content even before you have finished your AS. Because A2 content are like heavier and more difficult, I think they need more time to teach it, so they start teaching you before your AS exams. Like I remember my mocks, we had our mock exam like the next week, and they'll be still teaching A2 like this week. So they literally like don't care about you, but no hate towards them. It's just my personal opinion. So why I chose A-levels over the other programs Sunway offer or like other colleges offer? Okay, only take A-levels if 1, you're set on going to the UK to studies after your A-levels and going to top universities, or 2, you are really unsure of where you want to study after A-levels. If you are like undecisive like me, take A-levels because you wouldn't want to have any regrets or preventing you to go to a certain country because of your qualification you took at pre-university. So in the beginning, I was gonna opt for the MAFI program or the OSMET program at Sunway. First of all, I really hated the 100% exam-based structure for IGCSEs. I was quite set on not taking A-levels because of that, and I would rather like do assignments or speeches or like presentations. But in the end, because of my undecisiveness personality, I really had no idea where I want to go after A-levels, so I just went with A-levels in the end. So for the subjects I took, I personally took mathematics, chemistry, and physics. I'll insert like a video or like pictures of me getting my results, because this year I didn't want to like sit in front of camera and like open it. And also I was gonna be expecting some like B's or like C's, no, B's or like A's. And that's because I don't know what's up with my college system, but their mocks and like internal exams are so freaking hard. Like they would make up their own questions and their own mark schemes for students, and it just messes with your head because I keep getting consistent C's and D's from all of it, and I was like starting to doubt myself, like whether I can apply to good universities or not. Or you can take it in another way that it motivates you or something like that, but honestly, that for 2 years, it demotivated me, so yeah.
A stand for basic.
A stand for chemistry.
Yeah. 2 A star and 1 A.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my official predicted grades was ABB or AAB, something like that. That's before I took my AS results because based on my mocks and stuff, they wouldn't be giving me any A stars or any more A's because I kind of messed up on all my mocks. But after I got my AS, I got all A's. The teacher changed my final predicted grade to A star AA. So that's what I applied to my UCAS. My feet is numb from like crossing my legs, so I'll just lift it up like that. So choosing subjects. Personally, I know most people in my peers took math as at least one subject. If they are like insane, they will take further maths, but most of them will take at least a math. From what I know, I think most universities would kind of recommend you to take math, except for those like art specific courses. For chem and physics, I kind of like just took it because I thought I was good at it in IGCSEs and I thought I'll do okay in A-levels. Because of that, I kind of just picked those two subjects because one, I know it can get me to most careers because it's STEM and who doesn't like STEM, and the other is because I think I could do well in it. I was kind of proved wrong because the difficulty and workload just kind of hit me in A-levels and I wasn't really prepared for that. I would really recommend to pick subjects you really, really love, or else you'll be like me and stressing and crying every day because I keep getting wrecked by past papers. Also, most people will take like 4 subjects in the beginning and they'll either like drop out one subject if they find it too hard in AS or like after AS, and they'll take the remaining 3 in A2. Or you can also take like 3 subjects and if you feel like you don't like it, you can just swap it out for something else. But you have to do it like in the beginning few weeks because or else I don't think you can keep up with the workload and content because it's heavy. So don't just take subjects in A-levels because you think you're good at it in IGCSEs, because it's not like that. It's not how it works. But of course, if you want to take like medicine, obviously you need like a certain subject requirement. Okay, now I'll just like touch on like a service level Q&A for you guys. If you have more questions, you can just comment down below or DM me. I might do like a part 2 of like things I wish I knew or like Q&A about A-levels. So first question I get is A-level hard? I think most people get that question. It really depends. It's a very like person to person type of answer. I would say it's like really, really different from IGCSEs. The way you study, the way you go about your homeworks or your lectures. So the transition from IGCSEs to A-levels is a freaking step up. So the way you're studying, it's gonna be completely different, because I remember like back in IGCSEs, I was memorizing every single thing. It kind of worked because, I don't know, the format and the actual exams are just exactly the same, so I'll just like remember and then write it down. That's not much like application and stuff like that. But in A-levels, you really have to memorize and apply. They really want to see how you approach like questions and applying the knowledge you have learned. So if you want to like commit to clubs or activities, for example like hit ball in the school or hit girl or debate clubs or sport clubs or etc., you really have to manage your time well. Time management is really, really key in A-levels. For the most part, I think just staying ahead of your content is your best bet. Don't be like me and start studying the week before internal exams. You really like stress yourself out and burn out, and it's really unnecessary to your mental health and your physical health. So so let's move on to my personal thoughts on A-levels. I'm gonna say A-levels is the hardest thing I've ever done throughout my entire education, from the independence to the workload and just the stress of realizing that these 2 years will really determine where you're gonna go for uni or which country you're gonna go to, and it's kind of a big deal. But mind you, it's not the end of the world if you don't excel in it, because there are other options in the world for you if you don't do well. So don't really stress too much about it. And on top of that, the pandemic was like kind of a huge factor of my stress and my burnout. I don't know, studying at home is just not it. Online classes are not it as well. And also the college was quite far from my house. so I struggle to, make that interactions and socialize with people. So I really suggest only take A-levels if you are really set on what you want in the future. Don't just take it because of your ego, or don't just take it because you think you do well in it because you did well in IGCSEs. You have to deal with all the workload and all the stress that comes with it. I think A-levels is just a huge learning curve in my life. I've actually grown as a person a lot throughout the entirety of 2 years, and that's just because of the independence and just going through that stress over and over again. It just kind of makes you a stronger person, I guess. Yeah. So tips on studying. My best bet is just doing past papers over and over again. That's what everyone says, but I'm gonna tell you that it's not the formula, but it's the main part of how people excel in A-levels. Applying to uni, most people taking A-levels will be applying to UK. Only some will apply to other parts of the world. For studying in UK, you apply through a system called UCAS. You can only apply up to 5 universities. If you want to apply to Cambridge or Oxford, they call it Oxbridge because you can either only apply Cambridge or Oxford, not both. And they have specific early deadlines for those 2 universities, and I believe it's in October. So you have to really prep and really get ready all your documents and tests. And if you're keen of applying to other countries, I'd say you have to do your own research, because A-levels itself is a British program, and most people would only support you in applying to the UK because that's the system they know best. And I also say be nice to your lecturers and teachers. Even if you don't like them, just be nice, or participate in classes and stuff, because most likely they are the ones that are doing your reference letters and doing your predicted grade and stuff. Okay, I'm also going to be talking about college-specific questions, so if you're not interested in Sunway College or Taylor's or Malaysian colleges, you can skip ahead, or you can listen if you want extra information. But yeah, because I've been getting questions about my college in specific. So the college I go to is the Sunway College. The first question is about the facilities, for example lab, library, and etc. So first of all, I cannot compare with the other colleges other than Taylor's, because I've only visited 2 colleges in my entire life, Taylor's and Sunway, which I'm currently attended because I've graduated. So Sunway College and Sunway Universities are interlinked together, and it's quite easy to access from one to the other because they're quite close together. The student library is shared between the college students and the university students, but don't worry because it's actually quite big. There are 3 floors to it, and there are a lot of study spots, from computer rooms to the quiet rooms if you want to be extra quiet. But just make sure to bring your own jackets if you are intending to go to the library, because studying in the Sunway Library is similar to studying in Alaska. That's how cool it is. For science students, the labs are pretty nice. Personally, I am a science student, so I took multiple lab lessons for AS, because AS is a specific paper for lab and you have to actually do practical skills to score. But A2, no, it's just a paper form of it, so you don't really have to practice in the lab. So the Sunway labs are quite proper and equipped. So the labs in Sunway are pretty big, so I suggest picking a seat near the front, not the front because that'll be facing the teachers, but near the front, so you'll be able to hear the teacher better. So your exams will usually take place at the main Jeffrey Trail Hall, or any other large lecture rooms in the university block or the college block, since they cater to a lot of students. So those are the main facilities people usually ask about. There are also other facilities like the bookstore, or the canteen, or the student life where you sign up for sport clubs and stuff. I'm not really sure. But as of food, the canteen has options, but I've not eaten in it once in the 2 years I've been in Sunway. There are a lot of shops adjacent to the college, and you'll be able to freely go out or enter. Yeah, there's a lot of shops within 5 minutes walk from the campus. But yeah, if you are not feeling any of those things to eat, there are also stuff in Sunway Pyramid where it's a 10 minutes walk through the bridge linking from Sunway College to the Sunway Pyramid, and that's a whole mall for you to discover, and yeah, it's quite nice. So moving on to like Sunway versus tailors, because that's what I get asked the most. I've actually like visited tailors once before applying to Sunway because I really just wanted to like look at the campus and stuff, and they really like toured me around the entire campus. One thing I liked about the school is that it's quite like tight-knit. I think it's smaller than Sunway. I also like that they offer recordings of lectures. I thought I really liked the idea of playing back the lectures and doing it in my own sweet time, but in the end, Sunway was offering that as well because due to the pandemic. So I think Sunway and tailors, they really have their own pros and cons to them. It really depends to the student's preference because they both have like good reps on their A-level programs and other programs they offer. So in the end, I picked Sunway over tailors because I have some friends who went to Sunway and was their ex-students, and they told me how good their teachers are and like the social life is. And also because I knew some mutual friends who are going to Sunway and no one going to tailors that I know. So that was also one of the reasons I picked Sunway over tailors. Also, I felt like Sunway, I would have like more stuff to eat because there are literally so many options out there. And tailors, I'm not really sure. There are like some shops nearby. I think that's it. But Sunway, you really have the access to Sunway Pyramid, and yeah, there's a ton of options in Sunway Pyramid. So yeah, I think that's about it for the things I wrote down. But if you guys have any other questions, feel free to like drop me a DM or comment down below. I can just easily do a part 2 to this series. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a like, or you can subscribe. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, bye!